Barbie, Mattel, mental illness. I just went an hour of therapy with my therapist. It was one of the most powerful therapy sessions I think I've had in years, many years. Honestly, I'm being honest about this. Before I begin, first things are first. This video is not for those who are it's not for everyone. This video is real. This is about real life. It's about mental illness. It's about when you're in therapy, coping skills. But my therapist just helped me come to terms with something I did not realize since I was a child. So this video is for everyone at Mattel Toys. I'm dedicating this video to Mattel Toys for Barbie. My doctor, she has videos. I'm sorry, not videos. That's me. She has records, documents from childhood. When I was a kid, I just found out I was diagnosed. They have gotten the records from my childhood. As a child, elementary school, I was diagnosed with ADHD. So as a child, I was diagnosed with ADHD. Then as I got older, because as a child, you get diagnosed with ADHD. As you get older, they call it bipolar disorder. Went through that. Now it's borderline personality disorder. My therapist has talked about this evening, of all of my mental health diagnoses that I have, and I've already been through my diagnosis. I've already been honest with you about that. But my doctor, my professional doctor at Duke Medical Center has just told me that playing with Barbie dolls probably saved my life. That is probably why I'm still here and still living and breathing and probably known on YouTube. That's why. When I was a kid, I remember, like I told y'all before, I was called Mouth, that last video, right? Well, I remember my mom saying, when you gave me a doll, when I started playing with Barbie, there was complete silence. You would hear nothing. When I was a girl playing with Barbie dolls, like this one, and this is ones my cousins would have had, thrown in a box. This is a reboot of Dream Date Barbie. And we were just talking about my diagnosis and how things are right now. I just showed her the apartment, how it looks. And my therapist is telling me, she's like, Selena, I have patients who have less medical diagnosis than you, and they're in worse shape. She says everything from, now here's the part that is not meant for underage children, but children can relate to some of the things I'm talking about. Having a distraction, having something that they can focus on that's going to prevent them from thinking of bad things or causing harm to themselves or someone else. You know what I'm saying? So my doctor, we talked about this, and she says to me that my dolls are probably what saved me. They were coping skills. For me, playing with Barbie was a coping mechanism. That's exactly what she called it. She did not talk about Barbie as being a doll. This is on medical. This is on medical terms from a medical professional. My therapist, my doctor from 6 years, Miriam Fairlew, at Duke University Hospital. She started psychiatry at the age of 18 when she got out of high school and went into college. And she's over 40 years of education and experience with mental health. So to her, she didn't refer to Barbie as a doll. She referred to Barbie as a coping mechanism. I had a lot of trauma in my life since I was a child. I've already told you some of that. Medical bracelet. My doctor told me just now that she has patients that have less diagnosis than me. They drugs, prostitution, they have to have things, buy things, they have to always have to continue buying things. They're never happy. They have different partners, promiscuously, one night stands, into illegal drugs, alcohol, a lot of those bad things that are bad for your health and can harm other people. And my doctor told me today, she says, Selena, Barbie goes all the way back to elementary school for you. Barbie was your coping mechanism because Barbie took you to a safe place while you were in chaos. That was just so powerful. Her telling me, she didn't tell me none of her patients. She says she has patients with different diagnoses and have less diagnosis than me, and they deal with it very, very differently. She's telling me how a man should be very lucky to have or had a wife or a woman like me in their life, considering my diagnosis. The thing is, I participate in therapy. I'm very open and honest in my therapy with my therapist. She knows I don't lie to her. She knows I tell her the truth. She knows I take my medication as prescribed. Hi, Lion Queen. You might not understand what I'm talking about right now, but if you get a chance to watch the video from the beginning, you will. The last 30 minutes of my therapy session a few minutes ago was, for me, a breakthrough. It was very powerful. And I want to say thank you to Mattel, everyone at Mattel. I want to say thank you to Mattel. Ruth Handler, I owe it to Ruth Handler. May God rest her soul, for creating the fashion icon Barbie. Because my doctor just confirmed to me, if I did not have Barbie, I probably would not still be here. Because with me, I don't need to go out clubbing. I don't go out clubbing. I don't do the drugs. I don't smoke, don't do prostitution. I don't have a record of any of these things. I don't do those things. I can have a nice, clean home, maintain it clean. I cook. I'm clean, take care of myself, keep my living area very nice, clean, up to date. All I need is my room of dolls, because when I'm going through hard things, Barbie becomes a coping mechanism for my mental illnesses. I do not have one mental illness. I have several, okay? And the reason why I'm just being coming out with you, because it was just confirmed as a child I had ADHD. As I got older to a teenager, it was then changed and elevated to being bipolar 1 disorder. And then from there, I actually still have all of that mixed in. Schizophrenic characteristics, bipolar 1, borderline personality disorder, manic depressive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's numerous ones. And we have come to the conclusion in therapy today, okay? It just came through in therapy today that Barbie has been my coping mechanism for my mental illnesses. So this breakthrough for me was very powerful, because something, there are a lot of people who are dealing with mental illness. They are doing a lot of other things that are harmful to them and to the people around them. You know, they're not living a safe life. They're not under safe conditions. They're not in a good place at all. And as far back as I can remember, my mom told, it's in another video. You would just have to go through my collection of videos here. But my mother witnessed and verified the fact that as a child, when I had Barbie, you heard nothing out of me. Yes, you're seeing a lot of Barbie number threes popping out because I'm loaded with her. I'm loaded with her. Um, this particular doll this is the best new Barbie in many, many years, and I absolutely love and adore her. Her head's not too big. Her face painting is just absolutely perfect. No, you can get Barbie number three for $19.99 on Amazon.com. Look at Target.com. I think she's $19.99. If you have a Target Red card, you get free shipping and 5% discount, which are going to tax. But I want to say, I don't know how. I'm going to add in my description, I'm going to add Mattel, Barbie, coping mechanism. But yes, my doctor is not even referring to Barbie as a doll. She is completely referring to Barbie as my coping mechanism. She said that from my record through teenage years, if I had not had Barbie to play with as a distraction to take me to that fantasy world of play and as a distraction, it's amazing that Barbie is actually very important. Barbies are very important. She's not just a doll. This doll has been my coping mechanism, companion. She has been my friend. She has been my sister, my everything. Now, for someone who does not live with mental illness, you're not going to get it. You're not going to understand this probably. But this is not a doll. It's not just a doll. I just had therapy with my, I just had therapy session for an hour and it was powerful. But my doctor told me that she has other patients that have less diagnosis than I do, and that they have to have a man that's rich, take them to Paris, shopping sprees, they prostitute, they do drugs, they do alcohol, smoking, and they hate themselves. And she said to me that with me having all the mental health problems that I have, Barbie taught me to love myself. That's what she said to me. My doctor told me that Barbie, as a child, helped me to love myself, and she has been a coping mechanism for me going through post-traumatic stress disorder and with all of my mental health disorders. I never saw it that way. I never viewed it that way. I told me and my therapist, I was like, oh my God, I never saw it that way. I never saw it that way. I never looked at it that way. I had no idea that dolls, my doctor, she told me, Selena, why are you saying you need to get rid of dolls? She says, it's fine if you get rid of dolls that you're not attached to. That's fine. She said, but Barbie has been with you since you were a child. She helped you cope through the abuse that my parents were doing to each other and that I witnessed as a child. Barbie was my friend. Barbie took me to another world. Barbie was an amazing distraction that kept me alive today. I believe God had a hand in that as well, of course. And I just thank God for allowing me to be able to have the dolls that I do love and enjoy, because I'm just digging all down in here. My sinuses are stopped up. But I am just, this was like an epiphany. I mean, this session that I just had was like an amazing breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? I never talked to my Barbie dolls. I never made them have conversations. I never did that. With me, when it came to Barbie, if I needed distraction, I would sit in the floor, find a comfortable place, a bottle of water with a little conditioner in it, and a brush. A brush. Sorry about the noise. Brush. Could be pretty Barbie dolls and a brush. And to be honest, I'm sitting here and I have 3 Barbie extras in front of me. They're more in the bedroom. This one's the newest one from yesterday. I bought on my birthday. I just want to say that I am so grateful and thankful that Mattel has designers. Whoever created this Barbie, thank you. Because these two have really been very helpful for me over the past year. I've taken her everywhere. She's been to the mountains, she's been to parks, she's been in my purse, she's been me through panic attacks. All of the things, all of the things. Everything I've been through, she has been with me. She's been with me. If talking to your dolls, if that's what you do, if that's what you have to do, if that's what helps you feel good, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. What you do in your home is your business. But to hear my therapist tell me that Barbie was a coping mechanism, this is a professional doctor who has lots of plaques on her wall. And she's not referring to Barbie as a doll. She referred to this as my coping mechanism. She said Barbie is the reason why I'm still living today, and that Barbie helped me love myself. And I thought that was powerful. I told her, I said, wow. I said, it is a shame that people at Mattel with Barbie do not have the opportunity to be a part of that conversation. Yeah, you see my medical bracelet. I have to wear it. I'm on blood thinner. I remember as a kid, I had my Barbie. Oh my God. I would have her like this, and she would be this far down the back of my britches pants, and I would be climbing a tree with Barbie with me. I never went anywhere without a doll with me. Growing up as a kid, I always had a doll with me. I didn't know I had ADHD as a kid. I was not treated with medication for it. But I wanted to share this video really is me saying thank you to Mattel Toys for creating something that's more than that's not a toy. It's a coping mechanism for many people that live with mental illness and have a daily struggle and don't know what their day is going to be or what's going to go through it. But this 11.5-inch fashion model, iconic, is a coping mechanism for many more people, not just me. I'm probably the only person that's coming out publicly with this because I did not realize that. I didn't know. My doctor's the one who told me Barbie was my coping mechanism since I was a child. She says, I have my room, I have my dolls. She's like, I'm one of the very few women that need very little to be happy. As long as I have a place to live, a roof over my head, I keep it clean. She's like, I will take anything and make it a home. I will make it as pretty as possible. I will make it clean. I will make it pretty. I'm clean. I'm able to function. And for this, for Barbie to have that much, to be such a powerful influence of my life, to where, she is a coping mechanism. I never thought about it or realized that. I know that I always say I love dolls, but to hear my doctor not call her a doll, but call her a coping mechanism, I don't know. It was just a breakthrough in therapy today. Today was a breakthrough in therapy. I am just so thankful and grateful to Barbie, at the designers at Mattel. And I'm actually going to copy this video and send it to Carlisle Nueta, who is a designer for Barbie at Mattel. Because I think they should know how their work impacts some people's lives on a daily basis. They need to know that. So if Barbie has been a coping mechanism for you for depression, for manic depressive disorder, for bipolar disorder, for post-traumatic stress disorder, for borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia. I am diagnosed with all of those things. And for my medical doctor of 6 years at Duke University to tell me that Barbie is not a doll, she is my therapeutic mechanism. And she says to me, if I did not have Barbie growing up, I wouldn't be here today. I would not be here on YouTube. I would not be sharing my life with you. I wouldn't be sharing dolls with you. I wouldn't be sharing cooking videos like I am right now. This is a personal blog. This YouTube channel is not dedicated to products. It is dedicated to everything that I do that's in my life, collecting dolls, sharing my opinion, review on things, but for Barbie not to be just a doll, but to be a therapeutic mechanism, no, a coping mechanism. That was what she said. Barbie's the one that got me interested in painting faces like on American Girl and other dolls. I did not realize that this doll was that important to me in my life. I didn't. But this doll has been very important. The Kira Holiday Barbie, I will definitely be getting her and rebodying her on a bent arm body that's got rubber bending legs. I'm gonna use the Native American Barbie. Put her head on that body. And reboot one with super long black hair to be a modernized Miko, tropical Miko, because it was in my KO. So to all of the amazing designers at Mattel who've worked with Barbie from the past all the way to the present, On the behalf of everyone who is living with some kind of mental illness or more than one illness, such as myself, I thank you for saving my life. I thank you for providing me with a coping mechanism. I did not realize that this was a product that took me to another place, that took me to a happier place every time I was suffering and going through something difficult. Everything from the loss of husband, everything from having a horrible and abusive childhood. But because of her, I don't go to discotheques, I don't go to clubs, I don't drink alcohol, I don't do drugs. Instead, I go to therapy, I see my doctors, and I take coping mechanism Barbie with me. So Mattel, thank you so much for giving me something to be proud of, to love unconditionally. That's a part of my life on a daily basis. Thank you. Thank you for giving me Barbie as a coping mechanism, because without her, I wouldn't have made it this far in my life. So, thank you.